Weeby. I'm gonna start recording or at least I'm gonna go over the VOD of them so it can still be a video of the gameplay that I'm doing here. Because the account has now slid from bronze to silver, just based off of what's going on, I'm just gonna have to play like 5 different champions per role and only pick up maybe 2 or 3 outside of that to keep them good. But I want to go over this game because this game is probably the best case example of what needs to actually happen for my laners. Because I think the problem that's happening here is that in the jungle role, I just can't have any pressure on my team because they just don't want to be human players. And it's really violently weird how they choose to play it. It's the most bizarre shit ever.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
For me, this was a very boring game, to be quite honest. I didn't get killed. I didn't fall for cheese. Darius here is sitting inside the brush, hoping and waiting that I would walk in, because it's what Darius players do. They wait for you to walk to third brush, and that you will just walk in and get hit by them. Because of that, I sat there actually agonizing over if I'm going to take Q or E. I chose to go for E because it means I can actually be able to farm at a distance. Take some auto trades to try and see how he's going to be as a player. More or less, it's going in my favor. Because as long as Darius can't jump on top of me, he doesn't have a fun lane. Because that's what most Darius players want. They don't want to be in melee range of you. And essentially just sit on the shit that you have in front of them and just hope that they can kill you with absolutely no effort whatsoever. Whereas I can just sit at my tower line, I can throw out E's and shit, and try to set up to bait them. Darius actually held his Q forever here, and then flashed over into this brush. We see Vi flash in like this, but then Yi decides to back off, so I just auto Vi forever here, which was actually a mistake. I shouldn't have done that, because I wasn't close enough to my graves. Then Yi doesn't have his meditate here. I don't know how or why, but he just dies there free for some bizarre reason that I can't be able to identify. I'll actually see if it's on his items here. Yeah, I think he had meditate for that. Hold on. No, actually, he did not have meditate for any of that. So he just jumped back in, expecting to be able to get free on Darius. So he does get the auto attack, but he has 14 seconds on meditate, which is why it looks so weird that he was running away like that, but I don't know. So here I have to outplay Vi. She's gonna try to smite the Krugs here for health and stay alive, but I just have more health than her, and I just have to keep autoing. I have Conquer. There's no way that I lose that there. So we pick up the 2v2, and I win that with the kills, and now I have double buffs, and I just sit pretty in my lane, because I have no reason to do anything. All I gotta do is last hit. It's actually weird playing Yorick. He is not a tempo champion in terms of his auto attacks. He has to actually last hit in order to get his graves. Otherwise, he has to wait for things to die around him so that he can get graves. But effectively, once you have enough graves in area, or even if you just have one, you get like 2 or 3 graves, and you actually go for the W max over an E max. I did E because I was just like, let's see what this does. Like, treat it like I'm analysis. And basically, we just do that on repeat. Get our last hits, try to survive. Space for Darius. If he tries to walk on us, throw out the ghouls. He'll keep taking damage, he'll have to auto them. It's giving him 2 gold per ghoul, but I'm getting more gold from not being pressured off my camps. Keep doing it on repeat. He fucking hates it. And the fun part about it is that even if I have 1 grave up behind myself, it actually pushes them in front of him. And this ends up being the lane state for, I think, the next 5 minutes. I just build a slow push into his tower. And then just play smart. Reward here, back in his face. So now, I'm at this point where the minimum amount of damage that I'm doing is basically 140 of his health every time I throw it. Cooldown goes low, mana cost goes up, but it keeps him slowed and away from me, so he just can't walk free. They kind of look for plays up here for getting camps, but I just pretty much ignore them. Because if he's just going to build a slow push like this, I'm just going to farm this back camp. Because if he's going to sit bottom, which is what he did all game, I'm not really pressured for anything. So I can just safely collect this at my tower. I summon the Mist Walker just because I know that he's not going to be able to do anything about it, and I want to collect it and push into his tower. So he drops a ward, Vi is distracted because she's playing mid fights around mid lane because we have middle Tryndamere that we have to face. I push that in. I'm sitting here thinking about backing again because I'm just pushing it into his tower. He goes back to try and get bladed steel caps. I watch that and I mirror his buy. So I have a Sheen and a Kindle Gem on him because I'm going to build Trinity Force. With the Trinity Force and with the position I have, I'm not in any real danger. So I'm just now experimenting and learning what my things are. Come back to lane. Just looking to see what he does if I walk up. He's playing far back in such a position that it makes me think, okay, so I just have to let the maiden tap them for their life, and then we'll just deal with it. I was getting really annoyed with Maiden's intelligence, because her AI just sits her in front of danger, where she'll try to attack the closest minion to her, but then she'll start targeting again until you walk her backwards. She's really dumb like that. Walk over, kill his ward, back again. Now I match him in his boot spy, and I'm stronger than him. Yi's about to get collapsed here, so I use my teleport to block it. Walk back to the lane. Draven basically continues to play keep away. They try to do the flash play on me. I wall them off. I stay alive. I heal up. I think I ping him to move, and I call out Vi's Flash and R. And I just sit safe here, because I get back health with Q. I think this position here is where I just poke him down with ghouls, and I just continue getting my health back up. And then he calls for Herald, and that's pretty much a pretty smart play for him to do here. Because in this mid fight here, that's about to happen in bottom lane, they are trying to play aggression, and she's just trying to clear for vision, and she's not really invading, because both his camps are here. If I were the Vi in this situation, and I don't know where the enemy jungler was, I'd just try to peek to see if I can take a camp or two. I'd probably take Gromp if I was able to take Gromp. I would just try to greed for wolves and then use my Q to get out. But she doesn't go for this. She just puts a ward on top of the blast cone, so he gets this for free. So I'm still up here pressuring him. He sees me walk over on the ward, but he doesn't know that we have this. I come over to take some honey fruit, and I basically call the play for him to assist. He's going to go behind the tower and drop the Herald, and I'm just going to slowly get rid of the wave and push it in. So now Darius doesn't have anywhere to go. He's pinched at the tower. He burns his flash, which if I were the Yi, I would have waited to attack into him, get an auto attack off. But play works anyways. Vi wants to walk over, thinking that he's going to walk back into the jungle. She wants to try and position, but I stand between him and her. So she backs off. We both back, and I think I pick up Hearthbound Axe here. Not quite enough gold for Trinity. Walk from here to go mid lane, because he's getting feasted on by this Tryndamere, who just gets to do everything. Even if I were to chase him down, it wouldn't matter, because it's more important for me to get the gold into the tower, and then try to rotate over here to block for the dragon. So he doesn't have ultimate, and he's about to into me while I'm positioning here. So I'm basically trying to block for Veigar so that he can be able to use his spells. Darius doesn't want to initiate, Tryndamere doesn't want to initiate, he uses his dash into us. Yumi comes over to Veigar. We're pushing in his tower. Try to get some cheeky E's on him. We end up getting it. He gets stunned. He doesn't use his ability, but he forgot that he doesn't have his ultimate. I don't think he had it anywhere nearby.
Turret plating will fall soon.
At like any kind of I don't think he had it for at least like maybe 10 seconds or so. Because this is trolling here. Yeah, he doesn't have ultimate, so he shouldn't be here. He dies for this. I pick up the kill. They get the dragon. And pretty much I just start splitting constantly. Give Veigar the pressure to be able to do his play. Consistently block out plays for him. We end up super strong from it. I start gapping the mid lane hard. Pushing the tower lanes in. Walking back up to the top lane. Look here for the crab. I need to get better with blocking off the crab with the W, because it'll drop the shield so I don't have to actually auto it forever. Come up here and I just block the Tryndamere from taking the tower. I don't know if he's a Smurf or not, but it's the Gore Drinker builds. Haven't fully been removed yet. He drops a ward. He starts moving towards mid. Veigar doesn't see it. He burns his flash to jump on top of him, and somehow he gets popped. I don't know how that one works. We end up coming back, and we now have our Trinity Force, and they're just sitting bottom lane with fights all the time. It's really weird. Draven has no health. Now Yi has no health. They really should just be leaving, but they're trying to lazy back in front of them. Vi walks it in. Somehow Yi actually ends up clutching this, but he still dies for it. I'm just going here, doing up his camps. Just trying to keep the farm up. I think Draven... No, Draven did not finally back. He actually gets executed somehow to Trinamere. And now they're pinging the tower saying, help, help, help. Players. I have my lane already shoving in. So I just back. No, actually, no, I don't. I ward this, I come over here, and then I actually fuck with Vi at her blue, and I take the blue in front of her. Summon the Herald, or summon my Maiden, take the blue from her, take the crab, path over. I want to take the Herald, but I can't, because both of them are top here, and Vi watched me walk into that, so now she's backing. Walk to the mid, push in the mid, walk down to the bottom side of the jungle, take the bottom jungle, put a ward in rush, expecting him to walk in. Continue pushing the mid lane. They're back to doing the same bottom place here in the bottom lane. He gets a free kill. Back up here. Trinamere actually walks down my Maiden because Maiden AI is stupid and I don't like it. Yeah, so the Maiden just stands there and just gets attacked constantly. He kills the Maiden, but then he runs away because he can't kill me, drops another ward of the Tri Brush. Then he starts doing the Rift Herald by himself because no one's pressuring him. Darius starts coming over to fight him. I come down. I put my shit on him. He actually gets crowd controlled by the Draven there. And that's why he lost that for the Herald. I come down the mid. Both Vi and Sona are just playing like this. I would leave this up to morning queue of bronze players being bronze. Pushing the wave, some of the Rift Herald in front of their face, and then they forfeit. It's really fast loss for them, and really just boring for me because of the fact that I'm just farming. Like, I have 153 to his 105. He's tried to roam a lot, but he doesn't have any actual armor in which he can actually deal with us. Yi's giant because he's getting free kills, because they're not playing smart. He just feasts on the bottom lane and just wins. The tower's already out. We've taken every dragon so far. We've taken the heralds. They only got one dragon on them. If this game had gone further, I'm pretty sure I would have just continued splitting down the towers. Next item after this would have either been Hullbreaker or brain fart. It would have been Hullbreaker or Sterix. Like, those are the core items I think I'm going to constantly build every time. Just switching between doing Divine Sunder and Trinity. Like, mythic item into an immediate Hullbreaker, and then into an immediate Sterix, or Sterix Hullbreaker, whichever one works better. And then just start split pushing through the mid game. Take towers, group objectives. I'm thinking of doing Ghost rather than doing Flash, because I feel that it could be smarter and easier. But I just don't like it, because it doesn't feel good. Ultimately, I don't know. If anything, I just need to work on the core mechanics of this champion. It wouldn't be hard to learn. I've already played the champion before, I just haven't played the new variation, and playing him tempo style. So, that's that. Just have to play off of it and just work around it, I suppose. We'll see what happens. Well, so I'm here on the next game, and stay breezy, stay cheesy.